Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Cuz TV channel. My name is Anthony, and we have our Week 6 game-by-game analysis, pick'em, spreads, odds, survivor picks, all of that wonderful stuff. As you can see below me, I'm going to be joined once again, by the co-founder of the channel, Cousin Steve. How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Oh, ready for Week 6? Are you ready?
Yeah, it's good. Let's do this.
Ready to
tell everything about everything.
Exactly. We're going to talk NFL here. Yeah, of course. As always on these NFL videos, we are joined by our weekly special guest, Dr. Wes. How's it going, man?
How's it going, nephew Anthony?
Aha! Now the nephew, I see. I'll take it over Grandpa, I suppose, last week.
Indeed.
So before we get into it, guys, just a heads up that all of our odds, lines, all that good stuff comes directly from the DK Sportsbook. So if you haven't yet, check them out. It's a fantastic website to use. Always the best lines I've noticed across everything. Without further ado, guys, you ready? You ready to hop into hop into everything? Lost my focus there for a quick second. All right. So we are recording this, just a heads up, while the Buffalo-Tennessee game is going on. So this has not been factored into the wins for this week yet. Both Steve and I have Buffalo. Yeah. Wes, of course, by himself on Tennessee. So these will be updated once that game has concluded. Surprisingly, they were able to play the game this week. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
In the comments, again, I was challenged by Civilian Jimmy. He got it to 9 wins. He also has the Bills, so ooh, I can still beat all of you if the Titans pull it out.
That's the decider. All right, Civilian Jimmy, I'm rooting for you because then we tie with 10. Let's go.
Yeah, and then I also want to put it out there that I am accepting all challengers. If anybody in the comments picks all the games and beats me, I will send them this beautiful Joe Burrow rookie card, which may be worth $1 in a couple of years.
Get in on that. Yeah.
Let's go. Bring it on, brother.
Let's get into it. Yeah, leave a comment, guys. Dr. West throwing down the gauntlet to all y'all. So leave a comment, leave your picks, all that good stuff. We love looking at that kind of stuff, challenging with us and everything. Keep the comments coming. Keep the likes coming. And as always, please consider subscribing. Channel's been growing, honestly. Each video, each week, we've gotten more and more views. So that's awesome. That's fantastic. We'll leave you with this. Curly, Steph, and Wes. Or Steph. Wow. Steve and Wes.
Steven.
Yes, Devin. Yeah. Steve and Wes are tied with 48 wins through 5 weeks. That tie will be broken after the Buffalo-Tennessee game. So we will let you know who is in first place next week. So we have a new little bit that we're going to get into for this week as well. We're going to go through, kind of a little mini icebreaker before we get into the weeks. It's a quick hitter. We're going to call it the Big Three. And it's basically something that we saw, whether it's over the past week, over the past month, over the course of the season, anything NFL related that we want to talk about that we think is a big hit. It could be a hot take. It could be a really, really cold take. We don't even know, honestly. Does anybody want to go first with their Big Three? Anybody interested in leading off this segment?
I mean, yeah, I'll go, sure.
Yeah. Steve, what do you got? Looks like you're going to talk about some COVID issues here that are going on with the NFL.
Yeah, so I know this is a thing that's dominating kind of everyone's life right now, right? COVID in the NFL, but it's also, COVID with everything, but it's also sneaking into the NFL now. I think seeing some talk on sports talk radio and shows and everything this week, it's an interesting thing, and I'd like to get your guys' opinion on it too. So I'll throw it up to you guys in a minute and kind of what you think should happen. So I've heard a couple different perspectives on this. Some guys, I saw one of the cornerbacks of the Patriots came out and said that the NFLPA and the NFL does not care about their players. They're here to get games done. That's what COVID testing and protocols and everything all about. They're here to get as many games played as they can, regardless of who gets sick, what happens, or the player's health. Which I think that that may or may not be true. I'm not 100% sure what the COVID protocols are, but I mean, the NFL is a business, right? So they're out there to make as much money as possible. Really, players are just an end to their means. On the flip side of it, or sort of the other way about it, is how the NFL is handling this. We've already seen a couple games delayed. Anthony, unfortunately, this affected me and you this week. Both our favorite teams, our head-to-head matchup was canceled.
Yeah.
Because of COVID protocols. As much as I dislike Bill Belichick, I think Bill Belichick did the right thing this week. He ended up closing the team facilities to protect his players and their health. So good on you, Bill. You got one for me. So, um, but some of the interesting perspectives I've heard. A couple guys, I believe it was Rodney Harrison, said he thinks that the NFL should shut the season down for 2 weeks, get everyone back healthy, get everyone back on a level playing field, and bring them back out.
I don't know if that's going to help, honestly.
Right?
I
No,
think it's always going to be there. It's always going to be an issue.
It always is. So one thing that was also mentioned on Sunday Night Football that I saw was the potential of a bubble. But I just don't think that's feasible with the amount of players that the NFL has. So you're looking at way more teams and way more guys per team from the NFL. So they're obviously one of the, if I believe, other than maybe soccer, but even then, I believe that the NFL is the largest American pro sports league. So to try and bubble that many guys, I don't think it's doable. I think maybe when you get to the playoffs, that might be what you have to do, because during the regular season, okay, sure, let's just push it back. Let's push it back. What are you going to do when playoffs come around? You can't substitute a team. You can't do anything like that. The other thing, and Chris Sims brought this up, and I'm almost inclined to agree with what he said. What he said it's a very unfortunate thing. It's no one's necessarily their fault that they caught COVID. No one's going around licking guardrails and, kissing strangers to try to get this shit. So it's not like it's anyone's fault when that happened. However, if a team has to have a game, especially after they've already used up their bye week, then that should be a forfeit. It's unfortunate.
I agree. I agree with
that.
Yeah. It's just part of this year. So. It sucks, but it kind of is what it is this year.
Yeah, and and that's how the playoffs might have to go, because if you're not bubbling guys, you're not bringing them back. You're not putting them in a safe space for them to go through the playoffs. It's a long time. It sucks to be isolated from your family and everything. And but guys had the option to opt out at the beginning of the year, and the NFLPA, that option of a bubble is still on the table for them. Really, the owners, from what I've heard, basically said that's an option. Let us know what you guys need, and we'll see if we agree to it, whatever your terms are in terms of what you want for a bubble. So just getting it out there, seeing what your guys' opinion are about, I think what Anthony said, I think that's fair. I think after your bye week, if your team gets sick, it's unfortunate, but I think you take that as an L.
It kind of sucks, but that's the year we're living in right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Follow protocols. Try not to get sick. If you get sick, sometimes shit happens. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Life will go on. There's bigger things than how many wins and losses you get in the NFL. We love talking about it, but it's not the most important thing in the world. So health obviously is, and maybe hopefully this is the only year that this happens. But if it does, sucks. At least they're playing. They're getting paychecks, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. And that's the thing. And I think if you got to keep a flow to this for some amount of time. Like you can't the start, stop. You can't be doing that. For our two teams, we weren't expecting a bye. And you just have to kind of roll with it, and it is what it is. Kind of like what Vic Fangio said. It just is what it is. But it's something I have to keep in mind, and I think I agree with Chris Sims. I think at this point, at least past your bye week, if you haven't had your bye week yet, then sure. If either team hasn't had their bye week yet, because it's no fair to, let's say, one team had their bye, but they're not the team that got sick, and the other team hasn't had their bye, and then that team gets sick. Well, at that point, then you still forfeit, because your team is the one that can't play.
Yeah,
or get scabs, whatever.
I think your thing about it kind of is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into mine here then, because one of the big things I kind of want to talk about is the Kansas City frauds this year. This team is somehow they're 4-1, right? I'm gonna make this as hot takey as I possibly can. This team is 4-1, and they should not be anywhere close to 4-1. So they beat the Texans, right? The Texans, Bill O'Brien was the coach. They had no DeAndre Hopkins. I give them that win. They should have won that game. They did win that game. Next week, they travel to the Chargers, and they have to win by a field goal in overtime, which Bucker had to make 3 50-yarders, right? With all the timeouts, all that good stuff. They backed him up. had to make 3 50-yarders just for them to win that game by a field goal. That should have been a loss, 1-1. They go to the Ravens. Here's my take on that game. This is where it gets hot takey. I think that John Harbaugh didn't put his full effort into this game. I don't think he wanted to give the Chiefs any sort of game film for their game. I think he knows that they're going to meet each other at some point in the playoffs, most likely in the AFC Championship. So I think Harbaugh, I'm not saying he threw the game. I don't think they played it 100%. You can give, Lamar didn't. The Chiefs defense held Lamar to under 100 passing yards. Whatever. That's an aberration. It's not going to happen again.
Maybe Lamar wasn't 100%. Maybe Lamar was hurt, and they didn't really want to say anything. Didn't want to put him on the injury report, so they pulled him back for that game.
Yeah, so while the Chiefs won that game, honestly, it was in Baltimore. They probably should have lost. I think there's a little more to that game than we're talking about. 1-2 for the Chiefs. Then we get the Patriots, who, speaking of COVID, Cam Newton's not in this game. That defense was hammering down on Patrick Mahomes. Had Cam Newton been in that game and not Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham, that would have been a completely different outcome than how that game turned out. Yes, it was 26-10 for the Chiefs. You got to think the Patriots are going to score more than 10 freaking points if Cam Newton's in there. Joke. 1-3. Then they get absolutely demolished by the Raiders this past weekend. 1-4. This is a 1-4 football team. This team should not be 4-1. They're fraudulent so far this year. This team's going to be a yo-yo. I called it over the past couple of weeks. They're going to go up and down. There's no rhythm to this team. They should not be 4-1. If anything, 2-3 should be this team's record, and the Raiders should be leading the AFC West. That's all I have to say on that. Dr. West, what are you going to take us to?
I'm going to be quick because this is taking way too long.
It is. Let's go.
First things first, I am very happy to see Dan Quinn fired. He deserved to be fired. He had a talented team for many years. He had, everything possible in his arsenal to have a good team, and he couldn't do it. So he deserved it. But why the hell is Adam Gase not fired? I mean, this guy, I don't understand. He's absolute trash. He's been trash everywhere he's ever been. His record in his career is 30-40. What's the upside to him? I've never seen anything that's like, maybe if we can get through this, Adam Gase will make us a championship team. No. Did you see Ryan Tannehill's career? He went. It's like he's dominating now for the Titans now that he got away from Adam Gase. He needs to go. Him. I'm happy Bill O'Brien's gone. I'm happy Dan Quinn's gone, but Adam Gase should have been fired before the season even started. So
yeah, the fact that he's still here and they're 0-5.
It's tank for Trevor. That's all it means.
Come on, Jets, get your head out of your asses. Let's go. Get rid of this idiot. He's got to go. He's done. Yeah. That will take us to, there is no Thursday night game this week, guys, believe it or not. We are going to start on Sunday. We've got the Bengals, the 1-3-1 Bengals. You like how symmetrical that looks. I'm sure West does too with their 3 losses and a tie. Traveling to Indianapolis to take on the 3-2 Colts. The spread, Indianapolis, after getting embarrassed by the Browns, I feel like last week, is 8 points. I think that's a little too high. We will get into that. But Cincy, they come into this game after they just got embarrassed by the Ravens last week, 27-3. It took a very late field goal to prevent the shutout, while Phillip Rivers and the Colts, they just could not get it done. They lost 32-23. And Bernie, great call in the chat, by the way. He called 31-24. That's a great call. Well done to you, sir. Rivers, he did have a touchdown pass. He had 2 interceptions last week. He does get a much easier matchup this week. So, Dr. West, who you got?
I'm actually more close on this one than you would think. I mean, you probably would think that I'm automatically going to choose the Colts. I will take the Colts, but I think that it's going to be a close, hard-fought battle. I think that it'll be a relatively low-scoring game. I'm picturing something like 21-24 or 17-21. So I would definitely take the Bengals +8, but I'll take the Colts to win the game.
I totally agree with the +8. Yeah, it's a little too big. And so, Steve, you and Dr. West have a history of disagreeing with each other. You taking the Bengals?
No. After last week, after picking the Bengals in my parlays to hit the points and the under, which I mean they did technically hit the under, that went to 51 on that game.
Yeah, they scored 3
for combined.
Right. Not ideal.
Right. So under was great, but they didn't cover the spread, and so I was painfully reminded what this Bengal team really is. And who they are, and I don't think the Colts are great, but they're certainly no Baltimore Ravens team. But at home, the Bengals are just the Bengals. It's the Colts.
So, Steve, I'm surprised you're taking Phillip Rivers here after your just utter disdain for him during this season.
I mean, always boo Phillip Rivers. It's less to do with him really, and more to do with the Bengals defense is not great. So, it is Phillip Rivers, but Bengals defense isn't great. And like I said, they just reminded me of who they were last week. So it's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. So Steve, I'm gonna piggyback off you for a second. I know you mentioned all year Phillip Rivers. He looked washed. Like in that game against Cleveland, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The dude looks like he's a mini Drew Brees. He can't throw the ball more than 6 yards down the field. It's been so bad that there's actually whispers of him getting benched. I've seen. The way he throws, it's even now he's getting older. It seems even more exaggerated. It just doesn't look right. The Colts defense, I thought they were exposed by the Browns last week. Like they got called out. I think this is the game. We got AJ Green wanting traded apparently, something like this. I think Burrow is going to take advantage of this Colts team. I'm going to take the Bengals in this game.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit surprising. I'm taking the Bengals money line. I'm taking the Bengals +8. That sounds fantastic to me.
How has it worked when you took the Bengals in the past this year?
I'm 0-2 on the Bengals pick so far this year. It's not good. Yeah.
You didn't take them against the Jaguars?
Oh, 1-2. No, you are correct. Thank you for that. I did take them. You are correct.
You're welcome.
That's where my brain is at, apparently.
I'm here for you.
Mind in the gutter. Thanks, Steve. That will now take us to ding, ding, ding. Round 2. You ready for this? Of the cousin matchup. This game was pushed back to this week. New England and Denver were on a bye last week due to the whole COVID situation. So last week, I was the only one on the Patriots, but now it appears that both teams could have their starting quarterbacks back with Drew Lock potentially fully recovered from his shoulder injury. We're yet to see final confirmation on that. Cam Newton appears to have been testing negative for COVID-19, so he appears to be good to go. We will have more information on both of them later this week. But Steve, are you still going to take your Denver Broncos to beat the Patriots?
Short answer, yes. Got to go with my guys, especially over your team.
Shocker. Not even shocked
You're
there.
right.
Dr. West, we'll keep this one a little shorter because we had picks on this last week. Are you siding with Steve here again, taking the Broncos?
No, I'm flippy-flopping.
Oh!
Because I think Cam Newton is the X factor. If he's going to play, then they're a much better team. I'm not going to be picking a team led by Stidham. That's for damn sure. So if Cam's back, then give me the Patriots.
I think he's going to be back. This game may honestly be like 17-10, I feel like, with defenses playing well. It depends on who plays quarterback, but you know me. I'm going to take the Patriots. And Steve, you're out on your own on this one this time.
That's all right.
Yeah, well, we'll see if... Yeah. We left Dr. West out in the cold a lot last week, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was about 50-50 for him last week. So
yeah, did you go 4-4 on solo picks? What, Dr.
Something
West?
like that.
Yeah,
I got a little too cute last week.
Yeah, taking like the
a lot of
Jets and all that stuff. You took Miami. Well done, by the way. You did take Miami to win last
solid
week.
Call there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
You guys acted like I was a jabroni for picking them.
I mean, hey, we'll get, there's some hot takes on San Francisco coming up. I got some stats for you. Don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
That will take us to the newly crowned champion of... I'm just kidding. Houston, they finally won a game, right? Post Bill O'Brien.
Woo!
They pull out a win. They get to 1-4. Tennessee, they are playing right now. So there are no lines set yet for this game. We will see what those lines are. I'm assuming Tennessee is going to be the home favorite, of course. But like, wouldn't you know it, right? You fire Bill O'Brien. You come out and get a win. Yes, it was against the lowly Jaguars. But it was an NFC or an AFC South matchup, and you got the win. That's huge. The whole COVID mess, with Tennessee, they're playing tonight. We'll see if any more tests come out and all that. So we're not sure if this game's even going to take place. Called it last week. Houston was winning the game. Go back and watch the clips. Dr. West, you followed me with all my Texans love last week and took them for your survivor. You picking them again?
I have two competing interests in this. Number one, I guess I shouldn't say their interest, but two competing things in my mind. Number one, the Tennessee Titans are having like the ultimate short week. They're playing Tuesday and have to come back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Luckily, they're both home games for them, so there's not travel involved. That's counterbalanced by the Texans, who have more rest and a new coach, and maybe a little bit re-energized. So I'm torn. I still think that the Titans are the better team, so I'll take the Titans, but I would avoid this game in betting and not touch it.
It's a very strange
Too many unknowns.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this game so far. Steve, you want to go ahead and take over? You side with Dr. West in this one.
It's going to come down. Honestly, I'm undecided at this rate. I'm still undecided. I'll tell you who I want to take when I talk myself through it. Because I think the Texans are revitalized, right? I think Bill O'Brien gets the boot. Heard about J.J. Watt and him getting into it right before that guy got fired. There was a lot of things clearly wrong with that guy, and there was a lot of negative things happening. in that locker room. I think with him gone, I think that team, like I said, is revitalized. I think they're willing, super happy to win. It'd be nice to see if the Titans win or lose this week. A 5-0 Titans team, I'm not really ready to hang my hat on if they do end up beating the Bills. But I can certainly get on a 4-1 team. But I do think right now they are the better team overall. So I think I will go with the Titans.
Going with the Titans. You know, we saw the reemergence of the dead body of Brandon Cooks last week. He finally got through 4 games in a row without hitting his head on something. Good for him. So for me, I'm actually assuming that the Titans lose to the Bills tonight. So, like I mentioned last week, this AFC South turn, I think it's here. The Colts lost, right? The Jaguars lost. Houston beat the Jaguars. The Texans are coming up. Colts, Jaguars, and Titans all lose in Week 5 based off this information. Everything's turning. Houston, they're going to take down this COVID-depleted Titans this week. I can't talk this week, y'all. What is happening? My goodness.
Words are hard.
The Bengals, I took them to beat the Colts, and that's going to continue this AFC South shakeup I think we got going on here. Houston, they're about to come back. Watch out for them. They're going to be 2 games back, here in just a minute after being down 0-4. I'm really excited. I hope Houston wins this game. I'm not going on any sort of big, calls like I was last week. Every single time I mentioned the name Houston, saying that we're going to win. I think they do win. Not putting my life savings on it, though. Wouldn't do that.
I think it's a good pick. I mean, honestly, like I said, I was torn.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, honestly, if it's played. We'll see what happens with the whole Tennessee COVID situation, so excited for that one. Even more so, I don't even know if I'm excited for this one, guys. We got the 0-5 Falcons traveling to the is this the game of blowing leads in the fourth quarter? Like, are these two teams going to go in 0-0 and just bash each other to death in the fourth quarter until someone has to win? Minnesota blew the lead to Seattle last week. Just like Bill O'Brien last week, Dan Quinn has finally been removed as head coach of this Falcons team, so maybe this team will finally learn how to, I don't know, be an onside kick and play football. Last week, though, Minnesota did take Seattle down to the end of the game. They gave them everything they could. I called it. They ran all over them. They held the ball for 40 minutes, guys. 40 minutes against the Seahawks. Kept Russ off the field. They ran it with Cook and Madison. They just could not pick up a 4th and 1 to ice the game. And wouldn't you know it, it's still lost. And still lost.
Special way to lose.
Seattle was 0-7 on 3rd down, and they won the game with 20 minutes of possession. Unbelievable. Steve, these two teams are clearly incapable of winning. Who are you taking?
Can I take neither of them? Can I set them both on fire? Might
as well.
God, Mike Zimmer, pardon my French, but fuck you, Mike Zimmer. You can't, are you so dense to go for it on a 4th and 1 like that? For real. To me, the benefits do not outweigh what is lost if you don't get it. And you didn't get it. You couldn't stop them from scoring a touchdown, but you did stop them from getting a 2-point conversion. So you still win that fucking game by exactly what happened if you just kick a field goal. So clearly you didn't trust your defense to stop Russell Wilson.
That's his mainstay, though. He's a defensive guy.
Right, but he didn't trust him. He went for it.
It's crazy.
Oh, no, fuck that. I'm going to go for it.
I've got
so
Madison
you didn't
in the
trust
game.
them.
Yeah.
Right. You did not trust them to stop him. So you went for it to try to 100% win that game. So why in the world did you not kick the field goal and just make it harder for that to happen? Idiot. Absolute idiot. Saying that, I do think, God, I don't even know. Give me the Falcons for their first win. Fuck you, Mike Zimmer.
Ouch. Anthony Lynn.
I thought he was gonna
yeah.
I thought he was going to flip-flop on that one.
Let's go. I'm on fire. Let's go. Dr. West, bring it back. What do you got?
Both shit teams, but I picked the Vikings to win their division, so I need them to turn it around. I think they are. I think they are the better team. They're overall better. There's more talent. I think this is going to be a shootout. It's probably going to hit the over if I had to guess. And give me the Vikings.
Yeah, with how quickly both of these teams are allowing points. Seattle had the ball for 20 minutes last week, and they scored 27 points. Imagine if they had the ball for 30 or 35 minutes, what would have happened? My goodness, I don't even want to imagine. Atlanta sucks on defense as well. I will say that unlike Houston, I don't think the firing of Dan Quinn will motivate this team. This team just looks like they don't know how to play football, honestly. They're lost. Minnesota, you got to give them a little bit of credit. Not much, though, a sliver of credit. They did play a damn near perfect game last week, right? They had the game plan. Mike Zimmer just got too big for his britches and didn't kick a field goal. What are you doing, man?
He pulled a Wes. He got too cute.
He got too cute.
Fucking cute.
Too
Don't
cute.
get cute. Just
Take the points.
Don't
Always
get
take
cute.
the fucking points.
Take the
Especially
points.
if you're up. What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. Up on the road. I don't know if the rain had a factor with it. You never know what goes on in these coaches' minds. I don't want to try. So the fact that Minnesota at least they showed some life last week, I think. Seattle's a good team, right? They played them well. They ran all over them. I think they can run all over this Falcons team. Minnesota's at home. Again, they were my pick for the NFC North. I just at this point it's what it is. So I am going to have to leave Steve by himself on this one and take the Vikings at home here. Very good, very weird game though. I don't know what to make of this game. I don't know if I'm excited for it. I'm like, these teams suck. I don't want to watch it. Watch this game be like 10-7. They can't do anything. Dalvin Cook may be hurt. He has a groin injury. Who the hell knows what's going on?
55-48, calling it now.
Place your over bets.
Place your over bets.
So
everyone get in.
Speaking of shootout, what the hell is this garbage we got right here? Oh my God, the 1-4 Washington Buckeyes, as we like to call them, traveling to the 0-5 New York Giants. Great. Another NFC East matchup. What the hell? Look at this over-under. 43.
Win.
Oh, my gosh. What a disaster of a football game, right? The one bright spot for this whole entire game is that, Alex Smith came in last week for his first football action since that horrible leg injury. Good for him, man. It's such a great story. Congratulations. Other than that, I don't even know where to begin with either of these teams. They both suck. Washington has allowed at least 30 points in their last 4 games. They're only averaging 15 on offense, while the Giants, they at least scored 34 against the Cowboys last week, but let's be honest, who hasn't? Dr. West, help me out with this game, please.
Listen, I'm not happy with Ron Rivera right now for benching Dwayne Haskins. It is too
Smartest
early.
decision
No,
ever.
it's too early in his career to do that. He played 1 year in college. He played 1 year in the NFL. This is his second year. I mean, give the man a chance. What are you getting from Kyle Allen?
That's not his guy. He doesn't give a shit about him.
I know, but if you're talking talent and upside, it's not even close. And so I'm not happy. You can't call them the Washington Buckeyes anymore because of that.
Touche.
It's a real shame. The Buckeyes now are McLaurin and Chase Young, and give me the Washingtons begrudgingly and sadly. I'm just the one thing, like I've said before, is the good thing for them is that at least one NFC East team is now guaranteed a win this week.
Someone's got to win, right? That's how it works.
It's the best thing going for them.
Who's gonna fall into this win, Steve? Who you got?
Give me the Giants to fall on the spike here. Like somebody, they're all bad. Everything's bad, but they're at home, so why not?
Yeah. Both of these teams are so bad. Oh my gosh, they're so bad. If this game's on TV, get it off. What are they doing? There's got to be some sort of weird other sport, that's going to be on that's better than this garbage. The quarterback carousel in Washington is in full force, right? We at least saw a little bit of life out of the Giants last week. They did play the Cowboys well. The Giants are at home here. They got to take this, right? They got to.
Everybody plays good against Cowboys.
That's very true. But Washington,
I think teams are good when they play the Cowboys.
Washington has allowed 30-plus points in their last 4 games. I think New York can get to 25, 30 points here and win this game. I don't know if Washington can score. What are they? Kyle Allen? What do you? I don't want that guy cutting my grass.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera is on my shit list.
Yeah. He's next.
He needs to go on a bus with Adam Gase and drive into the Pacific.
He's for sure taking a quarterback next year.
Oh, for
First
sure.
round.
For
1,000%.
sure. He wants his guy. Yeah, for sure. So we got Wes out on his own again with Washington. Wes, how many times have you picked Washington? That's got to be 3 or 4 now, right?
Yeah, it's not going well.
It's not going well. Yeah, maybe
I
you
think
should
Wes
change your
is-
tune here a little bit, but I'm going to lock this in. You're allowed to change that.
I think he's 1-4.
Yeah, he might be.
I think I've taken them every week.
He might just be. No, I think you picked the Ravens at least when the Ravens throttled them. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not that dumb.
Speaking
I'm
of the
a little
Ravens,
dumb.
though, that's going to take us to our Battle of the Birds here. We've got the 4-1 Ravens traveling to the 1-3-1. Bengals, right? Philadelphia Eagles here. The spread is a touchdown. Philadelphia, a home touchdown dog here. Over-under set at 46.5. I expect that to be a little bit higher coming in, honestly. The Baltimore, they're back. They look like they're back, right? After easy wins against the Washingtons and the Bengals. Philly surprisingly put a decent showing up against the Steelers last week. Yeah, that elite defense Miles Sanders ran right through it, it looked like. But they do get another tough defensive test this week with the Ravens coming to town. Carson Wentz, man, I don't know what he's doing this year. He threw 2 more interceptions last week. So, Steve, can the Ravens get 2 or more interceptions from Wentz again in a win? Or can Philly slow down Baltimore and take the win?
Yeah, just like the Bengals last week reminded me who they are. The Baltimore Ravens reminded me who they are. I'll keep this short and sweet. It's the Ravens.
Dr. Wes, are you agreeing with Steve?
I like the Ravens to win the game, but I think this will be close, actually. And I would take the plus 7.5 with the Eagles, but they're just not even comparable in terms of overall talent. So you got to take the Ravens.
Totally agree. Baltimore stacked. Philly not stacked. If Wentz is going to continue to throw 2 interceptions, that's going to be punished against Baltimore. You're going to need at least a touchdown. One of those 2 drives where Wentz throws an interception to have any chance in this game. 2 drives are going to be slowed down by Wentz interception, calling it now. If there's a prop out there for like over 1.5 interceptions for Wentz, bet the house on that. At least 2 interceptions again. And we got a Baltimore clean sweep. So Baltimore clean sweep. We now get to another AFC North matchup here. We've got the 4-1. Look at that. Cleveland Browns. Bernie. Bernie in our comments out there, really excited. Big Cleveland guy versus the undefeated Steelers here. Steelers only a home field goal favorite. Over under set at 51. Pretty standard so far this year. But last week, Chase Claypool, man, what a game, right? Four touchdowns. Helped the Steelers honestly squeak by the Eagles, it looked like. Cleveland, they come into this game on an absolute roll with 4 wins in a row. They put up 32 points on what's supposedly like this elite Colts defense. Cleveland, stat of the game for you. They have now scored 35 points, 34 points, 49 points, and 32 points, all higher than 32 in their last 4 games. So, Dr. West, who you got in this AFC North showdown?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Bernie for taking me to school on the Browns. But I still am going to take the Steelers here. I'm still not a Baker guy. I would like to see him tear an ACL.
Ouch.
So,
wow.
Yeah. He planted the OU flag in the middle of Ohio Stadium. So ever since then, he's been dead to me.
So it's personal.
Yeah, it's personal. I hope that they are just chasing him around all day. He's looking like Johnny Manziel back there. Give me the Steelers.
Steve, who you got?
Kevin Stefanski has this team on a roll. He has this team in a headspace that is good. He has his team. He is controlling all these egos. He's getting them to click. Everything's coming together. Give me the Browns to win this game.
This is such a weird game because before I get into my spiel here, Wes, imagine taking the undefeated team and being out there by yourself. Holy crap.
Imagine that.
All right.
Me versus the world, baby.
It is. Take an undefeated team by yourself. Never saw that one come, especially the game with Cleveland. But here we go. Pittsburgh, they were pushed by a bad Philly team last week. Cleveland, they showed, they confirmed they can put up points against a really good defense. Typically, I will say AFC North games are rough and low scoring. I think that's the case this week. It's going to be the same exact way. It's going to be messy. I think it's going to be dirty. We saw that Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph issue last year. I don't foresee anything like that happening in this game. But this game, there could be some hurt feelings in this game, guys. This could be one of those weird, battle, black and blue, 20-17 kind of AFC North old school games. This is going to be good. Give me the Brownies, though. On the road at Pittsburgh, statement game for Cleveland. Big statement game coming up here for Cleveland.
I think this is definitely going to be a game where, every 5th play, you hear, 72 whistles because they're just going to break up fights.
There's going to be so much laundry on the field. Yeah, yellow flags galore. They need to implement a red flag for this game, maybe like they do in soccer. Get them out of here. I want to watch this game. I hope it's on. I'm excited for it, but we're going to get this, the Cincinnati Indy game here probably.
For sure.
Well. But, yeah, looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be fun. That takes us to the 4-1. What? Chicago Bears traveling to the 3-2 Carolina Panthers. What is going on with these two teams? Carolina, a home favorite by a field goal. Oh my gosh. These are not two teams that should have a winning record. Yet here we are. Nick Foles, he got the 2-0 versus Tom Brady in his career last week in a messy Thursday night home game. While the Panthers, man, they're rolling, right? They got the 3 wins in a row. They beat the Falcons. Who hasn't beat the Falcons this year? Excuse me. Bridgewater, he's looked good. So is the defense. They've only allowed 16, 21, and 16 points in the last 3 games. Steve, will Nick Foles have something to say about that and get some points on the board and get to 5-1, or can the Panthers continue to roll and get to 4-2?
The Panthers have done me dirty this year, just like they've done you, right? Like, it's just a hard thing. They're such a hard team to call. I mean, same thing with the Bears. We all thought the Bears would be awful, and I don't think they're great, but they're hanging in there at 4-1. This is a toss-up game. Honestly, I'd probably bet the over on this game. 44 seems kind of low. These two teams kind of going up against each other. But then again, like you said, it could be a 10-7 game. Who knows? It's going to be close. I think 3 points is a solid spread. But you know what? Give me the Panthers. Give me Carolina. 4-0 without Christian McCaffrey. It's going down.
Yeah, Wes, really quick. Yeah. Before we get to you, I'm going to see if we're on a sweep with us here. I have been shocked by the Panthers this year and how well they've been playing, honestly. Absolutely shocked. Bridgewater has been absolutely chucking it. They're 3-0 without Christian McCaffrey. Hashtag running backs don't matter, right? Like, this is unreal.
This is why you don't deserve $15 million a year.
Yeah, if you're gonna pay somebody as the highest priced running back in the league and he gets you to 0-2, and then wait, who's that? Mike Davis. Who comes in and like the dude's top 5 fantasy player over the past 3 weeks or something like that. The Bears, they're not passing my eye test. The Panthers, they've been dynamic on offense. Robbie Anderson, rejuvenated after they left Adam Gase. We say it all the time.
Adam Gase.
Get away from that guy. Your career will take off. It will skyrocket. You're going to the moon. He's 3rd in the league in receiving yards now. Insane. Panthers playing very well on defense. I'm taking the Panthers. I'm going to see if Wes is going to join us here on the sweep.
I will.
Oh my
God. Hashtag get rid of
crazy.
McCaffrey. That's all you got to do, and your team's suddenly good.
Insert crazy frog gif here.
I think both teams are going to come back down to earth in the next few weeks, but right now at home, and 2 teams that are probably comparable in talent, I'll take the Panthers.
Who would have thought 3 weeks ago, when the Panthers were 0-2, that they'd have a game coming up against any team that was 4-1, and we'd be like, yeah, Panthers, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Right.
$100 on that would have not happened 3 weeks ago.
That coach they have,
Matt Rule,
coming out of college, he might be sneaky good.
Yeah, he's done a lot with this team. They're averaging like 18 points allowed on defense over the past 3 games. Crazy.
He might be better than people gave him credit for.
I think he is. Yeah, he avoided that Jets job. And a shout out to Tim Andercust, who wanted Matt Rule to join the Jets. If you listen to Pat Mayo, yeah, Matt Rule laughing now.
Oh, for sure.
Thanks for that, Tim. That will take us to 2 teams that, I feel like they could also, the game we just went through, Chicago, Carolina, they could also have these records, honestly, and I wouldn't be surprised. We got the 1-3 Lions traveling to the 1-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. Look at that over-under, though. I think it's the second highest on the slate this week between 2 absolutely god-awful teams, right? Both teams, though, they have shown they can play offense. Detroit, they have managed to score at least 21 points in each game so far. They're capped out at 29 there. They're in this 20s range. While Jacksonville, they're averaging 22 points a game. Jacksonville, on the other hand, though, the defensive side, they've allowed at least 30 points in each of their last 4 games after they beat the Colts, which is looking worse and worse by the minute now. Dr. West, which team will get to 2 wins in this game?
It's really hard to say. I'm kind of torn on this one. I think in the end, I'm going to take the Jaguars. I would take them plus 3.5. Like the over/under suggests, I think this is going to be a shootout, and you put Gardner Minshew in a shootout game. I just like him, and I'm going to bet against Matt Patricia until he proves that he can do anything competently. So that's where I am at.
So you're taking Gardner Minshew over Matt Stafford in a shootout.
Yep, because one has Matt Patricia as their coach.
Touche. Steve, I know you're a big Matt Stafford guy. Are you going to take the Lions here?
I will. Actually, I think I agree with Wes in the fact that Matt Patricia is trash. I think he's another Patriots plant to make another team bad, for the sake of making other teams bad. That might be my big 3 thing next week. Conspiracy theory for the Patriots to plant coaches to make other teams bad.
Bring it. Let's do it. Let's talk about
it. Yeah, write it down, then it'll remind me next week. But I just think, I think off the bye week coming in, the Jaguars, they're 4 straight losses. They're beat down. the Lions coming in off a bye for them. I think they're going to be a lot prepared for this not great Jacksonville team.
Dr. West, you should be used to this by this point, honestly. Like, just honestly, like, we track all the games that we have by ourselves. I think I have like 4 that are literally by myself. I'm usually the tiebreaker. I think Steve is 5-5. Dr. West is 9-9. So like through 5 weeks, he has like 18 games that he's picked by himself. Like something just insane.
You guys are always fighting me.
Yeah,
it's cool though. It's cool.
It's the
I'll refer you to the scoreboard.
Very true. You are currently tied with Steve for the lead. So not much to say.
Not after tonight.
You really need Tennessee to win here. Then that argument has a little backbone to it. That would be good. I will say, getting back to this game, Jacksonville, they have not been able to stop anybody over the past month. I think that continues here. It does have I don't know, the over-under is 54, but it's got like sneaky shootout written all over. I don't know if you want to call it sneaky. I've been saying every week since like the Colts game, Jacksonville is who we thought they were. The Lions take this game, and Jacksonville gets to 1-5 because they're bad. They're just not a good football team. They can't stop anybody on defense. If Gardner Minshew is not completing 95% of the passes, they're not winning apparently. So I think it's gonna be the Lions here. And then speaking of just an awful bad team, just awful bad team, that takes us to our 4 p.m. kickoff. There's only 2 4 p.m. games. It's 8. Yeah, oh my gosh, I know. The 0-5 Jets, they are traveling to the 2-3 Miami Dolphins, who are coming off a game where they just dismantled the 49ers. The 8 spread might not be big enough here. How the fresh hell is Adam Gase still a coach? How? I'm going to lead off every Jets game with this kind of statement until this jackass is gone. Like, he's so bad. The guy shouldn't be coaching Pee Wee football, but he somehow outlasted Bill O'Brien and Dan Quinn, right? NFL owner's logic. I don't understand. Now he's trying to trade Le'Veon Bell. Super Bowl MVP, LOL, Joe Flacco, couldn't even lead this team to a win. You can't blame Sam Darnold at this point. The Dolphins stomped the 49ers 43-17 last week, and honestly, that should have been a ton worse because the Dolphins had to settle for multiple short field goals at the end of the first half. That game could have been 60-17, something like that. Steve, can Adam Gase actually lead the Jets to a win?
Can't finish that sentence, can you?
No, sorry.
Let me ask you this. What do you think? Fitzmagic, baby. Fuck you, Adam Gase. You're dumb.
All day. Dr. West, you agree with Steve here finally?
Totally agree. I mean, if I pick the Dolphins against the 49ers, I probably should pick them against the Jets. Just like I said last week, I think the Dolphins are better than what their record indicates, and I think they'll be closer to 500 by the end of the year. So give me the Dolphins.
I can see that. I think Fitz is ready for Tua time, but not quite yet. You know what I mean? I think he's excited. Fitz is 34 years old or something like that. He knows his time is up, but as bad as the Dolphins have looked, last week they looked pretty good. The Jets, they've looked 10 times worse, and that's being really nice to the Jets, I feel like. Le'Veon Bell wants out. Like, he held out, a couple years ago, and he ends up on the Jets. He's being wasted. Fitzmagic rolls to 3-3. Jets, come on. Someone out there, someone tweeted somebody on the Jets and say, listen to our videos and get rid of Adam Gase. He absolutely sucks. That will then take us to a game that I am really, really excited. I hope this game is on TV at the 4 o'clock. It should be over this stupid Jets-Miami game. It's horrible. The 4-0 Packers traveling to the 3-2 Bucks. Look at that spread. 1.5 points. I am ready for the fireworks. Over under 54. What a fun game this should be, right, guys? Fresh off their bye, the Packers roll into Tampa Bay. They are averaging 38 points a game so far this year. And that's even without having Devontae Adams over the past 2 games. Just like insane. He is projected to be back, though, for the Packers. He practiced Monday, whereas the Bucks, they're hoping Chris Godwin's hamstring injury has recovered enough for this game. So should both of these teams be at full strength, I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game of football. Lead off with Dr. West. First of all, do you think that this game hits the over, and then who you got to win?
I actually think I wouldn't bet the over or under on this because I don't have a good feel of what it would be. Being forced to choose, I would take the under because 54 just seems like a lot of points. But just like I've done every week, I'm going to pick against the Buccaneers. I think they're still not that great.
Bucks hater.
And the the public just loves them just because they have some big name people, but they, I don't think they're that good. And the Packers coming off a bye, it just seems I would definitely take the Packers, and I would take them -1.5. I bet they'll win by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, Steve, do you think the Tampa Bay Bucks have looked bad?
I don't know. What do you think, Anthony?
I think they've looked all right.
They lost to the Bears.
Fourth
okay.
down? No? Question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to the freaking Bears. Like, come on. Like,
You're such a defender of them, Anthony, but it's not justified.
Give me the over on this game. The spread is a joke. 1.5. Are you freaking kidding me? Until Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, disintegrates into dust, I'm not betting against that guy. Like, give me Rodgers and the Packers.
I am taking the Bucks. And screw you guys.
Weird.
I'm going home.
Do this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah, I gotta do something here.
There's your solo for the week.
I have no statistical data to back up this pick, just like how I had Houston a couple weeks ago. They looked like dog doo-doo versus the Bears. At home, though, I don't think Tom loses 2 games in a row here. I don't think he's going to let them, despite not knowing how many downs there are in football. Never a good sign when you're in your 40s and you forget how many downs. Yeah, something's going on there. I think that the elderly Tom Brady beats the Packers, and I'm looking forward to taking my L on this one. I think I may have made a mistake. So on that note, we will switch games and get away from this one. The 4-1 LA Rams. They traveled to surprisingly 2-3 49ers. They've had a ton of injuries, right? The Rams, a 3.5 point, road favorite here. Over under at 50.5. Talk about a humongous game for the NFC West, though. This game is huge. Seattle, they're already 5-0. They're on a bye this week. So both of these teams, they have to win this game. I will say that I don't think any of us saw the Rams starting off 4-1, nor did any of us see the 49ers starting off 2-3, right? Like this is, I think we both projected these games to be flipped a little bit here, but the 49ers with like their myriad of injuries they've gone through already this year, they suffered a couple defeats. So get this, stat of the week: the Rams, their only loss so far was at Buffalo, a game where they were down 28-3 and almost came back and won, a la the Patriots. While the 49ers, get this, their 2 wins have come against the 0-5 Jets and the 0-5 Giants. Not a good resume for the 49ers so far this year. But Steve, can San Fran rebound at home in this humongous NFC West matchup?
So you say that Kansas City is a yo-yo team. Look at San Fran, man. They would go from 3-13 one year to 13-3 the next year in the Super Bowl. But I just think injuries they're catching up. I don't think old Nick Mullins, whatever the hell his name is, I don't even know his name. Their quarterback,
CJ Beathard.
Yeah. I don't think that guy's got it. Is Garoppolo back? He was back last week, wasn't he?
Last week,
he was bad.
Yeah, so he couldn't even hang. Garoppolo's he's an average guy. I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's bad. He's better than the other guy. But no, it's the Rams. Aaron Donald's still Aaron Donald. It looks good for them. Give me the Rams.
Dr. West, we've seen a lot of differentiation between you guys this week. Does it continue?
I think it will. Just like I pointed out last week, the Rams, they're getting screwed. They were just in Washington again. Now they got to go back out to the West Coast. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, back and forth every week. I think it's going to catch up to them. I think that the 49ers, they got absolutely spanked by the Miami Dolphins, are going to come out firing. And I would take the +3.5, and I'm going to take the 49ers at home. I would take the under in this game. I think it's going to be a slow, running heavy struggle of a game that the 49ers will win maybe 20-14.
Wow. I'm honestly surprised you took the 49ers here, Dr. West. I didn't see that one coming, considering the stat I just gave you, where their 2 wins have come against the Jets and Giants so far.
They were in the Super Bowl last year. They have talent, and weird things happened in the NFL. The Raiders beat the Chiefs, so
that's not that surprising.
Their talent's on the IR, though.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, for me, the 49ers' 2 wins thus far, they honestly shouldn't even count. Beating the Jets and Giants, who really cares? This team has been decimated by injuries. The 49ers, I think Aaron Donald is out for blood. He had 4 sacks last week, I think, or something like that. The man's a machine. You can't stop him. With all these injuries, San Fran's not stopping him. Throws TJ Beathard to the Wolves here. I don't think this game's going to be particularly close. I'm going to take the Rams here for Sunday Night Football. So what do you guys think? Over under 50.5. I know, Dr. West, you said under. Steve, what do you think?
Way under.
Yeah, I still think it's the under. I mean it might be like 30-10, but
If you and if you guys think that Beat Hard or Garoppolo is so bad, then I mean it definitely should be low.
Yeah, I was
If you think
thinking
Donald,
30-13. I think it's the under as well. It's getting murky. I don't think San Francisco is going to be able to stop the Rams. They've looked good. Goff's looked pretty good. I almost called him Jared Cup. Jared Cup, NFL creative player. But yeah, Rams taking here, and West is out there by himself. So this week, guys, we actually have 2 Monday night games this coming week. Monday night game numero uno. We got the 4-1, which should be 1-4. See the intro. Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the currently undefeated game against Tennessee is currently going right now. Buffalo Bills. No odds for this game out yet because Buffalo is playing tonight. And if you all remember my intro, the Chiefs, they've been pushing their luck to the brink this season, and now they get the Bills, who they've come in like they've been wanting to play on fire, right? Josh Allen has played every bit of the MVP role for this Bills team so far. They're looking fun on offense. Weird thinking about Bills offense being fun. They're averaging 31 points a game so far this year. Josh Allen, I feel like quietly, he has 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. Doesn't even factor in all the rushing stuff. So, Dr. West, how do you see this game going?
I just want to mention it's basically halftime in the Bills-Titans game, and the Titans are up 21-10. So things are looking good for Team West. The Bills on a short week. I'm going to pick against them again, like I do every week. Kansas City is the better team. They have more time to prepare. They just got beat and look stupid, and they're going to come out firing.
Steve, you taking the Chiefs as well?
No.
Oh my God! Every week.
I'm on the Bills train. Yes, I know they're down 21-10. I got the game on the other screen here. But hey, there's a whole half of football to play. Football games go long. Look at the Vikings Seahawks game. You know,
that's why they split into 2 halves, not just 1 half.
I mean, you got time for adjustments. You got to go in there. I think they'll go in there and make the adjustments. Josh Allen will come out. And change it up. I don't know if I'm not actually watching the game. I just have the stats up. But if they're shutting down Stephon Diggs, they're going to do some other stuff, do some some screens, some dunks, some delays. They'll figure it out. So if they don't, I think the Bills are ready to win. Come and say, hey, all right, we're going to get back into this, show that we're for real, and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, Kansas City for me, they have not been fantastic defensively so far this year. They shut down Brian Hoyer and Jared Stidham. Congratulations, well done. My yo-yo,
clap.
Yeah, you did it. Well done. My yo-yo description of this team, I feel like it's been completely spot on. They went from 34 points down to 23, up to 34. Down to 26 against the Patriots. Should have been much lower than that. And then while they scored 32, they lost to the Raiders. Like, they allowed 40 points to the Las Vegas Raiders. Buffalo, this is a great test, though, I feel like, for this team to finally see where they land in that AFC spectrum. If they can beat the Chiefs, they are in the running. Like, the number 1 overall seed is well within reach here for the Bills, should they be able to beat the Chiefs. I'm going to take Buffalo at home here. Again, I am down on the Chiefs now. I've watched them.
How am I alone on the Chiefs?
Yeah,
this is just proving you guys are conspiring against me.
That's got to be it. Yeah, Steve, are we
Cousin
talking
love.
before the video?
I mean, actually, me and Wes talked longer than me and you did.
Yeah, we're not discussing our picks. Dr. West, you just make bad picks, man. That's the problem.
The winner is making the bad picks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in
You're
I'm in
not
last right
winning.
now.
We are tied.
Yeah. Dr. West claiming he's winning when it's 40-40 right now.
Also, if you'd go by week, Steve had one really good week. I am the consistent performer.
There is no consistency rating on this show, Dr. West. It's all about the total score, sir. Get it together.
Okay.
Either way, Buffalo's winning this
cute.
game.
It's cute.
Kansas City, Mahomes, he looks fine. I don't know what Chiefs. They're not 4-1. They shouldn't be. It just doesn't feel right. Buffalo. We'll see what happens with the Tennessee game. They're going to bounce back. They're at home. Chiefs again, 1-4 Chiefs. They're not very good this year. Take that for the hot take. And then we get to our last game of the week. We got the second Monday night game. We've got the 3-2 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the, unfortunately, the Dakless Dallas Cowboys, who are 2-3. They did pick up the win last week versus the Giants. First off, we want to wish Dak a very, very speedy recovery from that brutal ankle injury that we saw. He was on an absolutely blistering pace this season, right? He was projected for more than 6,500 passing yards this season. But now the Cowboys will be headed by former Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton, who inherits probably his best offensive, core that he's had in his career. This is a fantastic, insert for him here. Arizona, they were able to right the ship last week against the pathetic Jets. Kyler Murray, he threw for 380 yards, and now gets a Dallas defense that has more holes than Swiss cheese. So, Steve, can Dalton adequately fill in for Dak here and get the win, or can Arizona find the W on Monday night?
So I don't think Dalton's that bad. I think he was behind a terrible Bengals offensive line. He finally gets a good one in Dallas. Hands up for Dak Prescott, man. You hate to see some guy. This is exactly why Jamal Adams was so pissed at the Seattle Seahawks. Dak could have done the same thing and fucking flipped him the bird when he was getting carted off the field. Like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. You should have paid me. But now here I am out here putting my life on the line for, he wasn't getting chump change. He was playing on the franchise tag. It's not like, he was making some dank ass money, but those guys look
million.
Right. So, but I digress. But without Dak, Dalton, I think he's a serviceable quarterback. I think he'll keep this game at least within some sort of reach. But I don't see it happening with this Cardinals team and that Dallas defense. I think it's give me the Cardinals.
Dr. West, just based off principle, I think you're going to go with the Cowboys here.
I really want to. I really do. I mean, Dalton looked really good when he came in. I think he was like 9 of 11 or something.
He was.
I've been torn on this for like 5 days now. Why don't you go, Anthony, and then make me choose?
See, well, this isn't even fair because I've been an Arizona homer on this show all season.
So who he's going with.
Yeah, I just can't see Dallas's defense, who just gave up, all these yards to the Giants last week. I don't see how they can stop Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Dallas will be able to compete offensively, but defensively is where they're going to... I thought Dallas' defense coming into this year was like a top 5 defense. Boy, was I wrong. Oh, my goodness. Dallas' offense does slightly decrease with Dalton. I think Steve said it perfectly. He's serviceable. He's not going to go out there and lose you the game. He's not going to toss 5 interceptions. At least I don't think he will. But I think Arizona picks up the win here just based off of Dallas' poor defensive showing so far and just not having Dak out there. Maybe they're still like a little mentally not in this game because they're readjusting to Dalton. They made a new game plan they're going to have offensively now too. I would take the Cardinals. Who you got, Dr. West?
Okay. I mean, you talked me into it sort of. I'll take the Cardinals for the purpose of the show, but I would completely avoid this game because it's a trap.
Feels very... I think we said that about every Cardinals game so far this year. They've all felt very trappy. Very interesting. So, good question here. 54.5 over-under.
Got to take the over.
Over?
I mean, there's no defense on either side, really.
They might as well be playing with mailboxes out there on defense and hope someone throws the ball into the mailbox.
Yeah, I made the mistake of taking the under on the Giants-Dallas game last week. I mean, it's the freaking Giants, and they went over. So, yeah, give me over on this.
I'm taking the over as well. I think the only thing that puts it into question is how well is Dalton going to play. I don't think there's any question that Arizona can put up 30-plus points. Can Dalton put up 24? He could, sure.
I think so.
He could, yeah. It's the
Just give Zeke the ball 30 times.
That's going to be the plan, right? It's got to be. This offense is going to funnel through Zeke now. We'll see what happens, though. But a clean sweep for the Cardinals, though, on the second Monday night game. Very interesting. Go Cardinals. My heart yearns for you this season. I'm rooting for you, even though I'm not a humongous fan, but you're in my heart this year. That will take us to our Survivor picks for the week. So if you guys are still live in Survivor, congratulations. We are not. I apologize again to Dr. West. It is the weekly apology for picking my Cardinals, even though Dr. West technically picked them first. But we have back-to-back weeks. We've gotten through clean, guys. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Anybody want to lead us off?
This is a tough week. It
is tough. I totally agree. I was looking through some of the games. Like I've either already picked them or I don't want to pick them. Like,
right.
Anybody want to lead us off?
I'm just going to... my strategy as of right now is just going to be to pick against Adam Gase and the Jets. So give me the Dolphins.
Should I do it to you?
No, there's no duplicates now. And if you choose something, I'm going to switch.
No, I'll give it to you. I had down to 2. I looked through all the games. I narrowed it down to 2. One was the Dolphins. My other pick, Dr. West, I'm doing this for you, man. You owe me. I'm not going to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Rams against the depleted 49ers. Steve, who
You
you
guys are
got?
taking all the good games.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I'm trying to hang on to some teams for later in the year. God, I really don't want to take the Giants. I know the Washingtons are bad. Give me the Detroit Lions.
Oh, against Jacksonville. Okay.
You guys took
Stanky
my two
teams.
picks literally, and
Yeah.
if Wes is gonna play the no, you can't pick my team. It's my team.
No, you take Miami. I'll switch. I got picks for days here.
I'll take the Lions. I'll stick with
All
the
right,
Lions.
let's lock them in. These are locked in, y'all. Let's do it. We have just now officially hit the 1 hour mark on this video, so that will bring our week 6 picks and odds, all that good stuff, to a close, guys. Thank you again for watching this entire video. We'll try to keep them a little bit shorter going forward. If you guys like the videos, we're going to have one every single week. Hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. The channel looks like it's growing pretty well. Very happy about that. Appreciate all the comments you have on the channel. Leave your comments below for your picks. Any comments on Wes's horrible picks for this week are greatly appreciated. Keep them coming, guys. And we will see you on the next video.
Thanks, guys.
Challenge me.